Yeah, let's just skip this part. So, the first part of this video is supposed to be kind of like a letter to the community. I have a lot of things that I want to say about ASMR, but when I tried to like write it all out, it didn't really go very well. Every time I'd write it, it'd come out like really forced or really poetic or really like existential, because I do that a lot apparently. But I just couldn't settle on anything that I liked. So I'm going to do this letter the only way I seem to know how to do things around here, which is completely off the top of my head. I hope that I can still say what I want to say, but I also hope that it comes a little bit more from the heart. This is not scripted. This is not planned. This is just me saying my truth, really. So you'll notice that a big theme of my channel is helping people. That's not really something you see or might see a lot. I'm sure that a lot of ASMR creators do subscribe to that, but they don't really make it part of their brand, and that's fine, you know. I see a lot of people like say, you know, this is the place to come for tingles, and go for it, man. You are, you know, Godspeed, sir. But for me, like, it is of utmost importance that you fall asleep. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that I have dedicated my entire channel to helping people fall asleep, is because that specifically is very, very hard for me. Back in 2020, when my country went on lockdown and during the COVID pandemic, I became very, very depressed. I won't really go into too much detail about that. I was sad. That's all you guys really need to know. But one of the ways that the depression kind of manifested itself is in kind of excessive thinking. And there wasn't anything really out there to distract me from that, because I was stuck at home. I didn't have anywhere to go. I couldn't really see any of my friends. I'm a very in-person guy, if you will. I do not like talking to people over the screen or even really texting. I have to be in person with you for it to count. So when all of that ended, I spent a lot of nights just sitting in my bed, staring at the ceiling and thinking about how lonely I am. Which is not conducive to sleep, as you might guess. I would stay awake for hours on end just spinning stories about how none of my friends loved me anymore, or nobody wanted to see me because they wouldn't come see me in person, even though that was entirely ludicrous, because if they came to see me in person, that would be very dangerous for both of us. But the point is that I, like, didn't sleep for all of COVID until I found ASMR. I found that in the click of a button, I could have someone be there with me. I would put on my headphones, I would grab my body pillow, and I would just pretend like I wasn't alone. And to be really entirely honest, it might have actually saved my life on more than one occasion. It was bad. It was bad. It was really a really dark time for me. But I had people there, and they might not have cared about me specifically. I don't really comment a lot, so they probably didn't even know that I existed, to be fair. But they cared about the work that they did, and it helped me. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to give back what ASMR has given me. Because if I can, through this channel, help like even one person get a better night's sleep than they would have had otherwise, be it for any number of reasons, then it was worth it, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple people, because now I'm 10K, I'm a big deal. Woo. Maybe they'll listen to me when I call them. I don't know. But the people that helped put me to sleep, specifically during COVID, it is a growing and evolving list, and these are not the people that I listen to today, save a couple. Some of them stuck around. But Ephemeral Rift, I hope I pronounced that right. Dr. T ASMR, please do more watches. Oh my gosh. I can click on that video every single time. I will fall straight asleep. It is insane. ASMRtica, love that guy. Melange ASMR, I also, this is like the first time I'm saying any of this out loud, to be entirely honest. Yudichi VA, they're a very small ASMRist, and they definitely don't know this, but they are one of my favorites. They have helped me so much. And Kirinyan Voice, baller content. If you need no talking, that's your guy. Just saying, just throwing it out there. And there's two more. These last two, I believe, have since moved on to a lot more adult content. So look into them completely at your own risk. Don't say I didn't warn you. But back in ye olden days, they did a lot of like relationship stuff, which is what I needed at the time. And that would be Fakira and Star, pretty sure. I think they went through a name change because I couldn't find them originally, but then I found someone that looked a lot like them, and their name was Star. So I hope that's right. Star with 2 R's. So I know it's a pretty short list. There were a lot of nights where I would just kind of scroll until I found a thumbnail that looked interesting and then just go with it. So the list of ASMRists that I listened to, period, is probably very, very long. But these are the ones that I could click on and, without a shadow of a doubt, just completely pass out. So thank you. Really. You have done more for me than you know. And I guess I'm here to take up the torch. I'm gonna keep making this stuff because I have to. Because it means so much to me that I can do for other people what I needed so desperately at that point in my life. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere, not anytime soon. I don't have any plans to quit or drop this for as long as I can. And all of the people I listed, you're why. Yeah. That's that, I guess. Yeah. This is gonna be like the most awkward transition into a Q&A ever, because that got really deep. But yeah, I'm doing this all in one take, because I want it to be from the heart. So if I am like losing my mind a little bit, then this is gonna stay in the video because it has to. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. And to my subscribers, y'all are chill. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Love you guys, for real. Don't think I didn't forget about you. It does really mean a lot when you guys comment like when I help you fall asleep, because that's like confirming what I'm here to do. But sometimes I kind of do it for myself. I do it because it means a lot to me. Which is why I'm like so intrinsically motivated. Because I don't like feed off the comments or anything. They're nice, don't get me wrong. Don't stop commenting. But yeah, this is like almost a spiritual calling for me, if you will. I don't know. Yeah, Q&A time. I'm gonna put this down. We're gonna answer some questions. Yippee! Okay. All right. These are in absolutely no particular order, and they are what my manager, honestly, I'll get into that later, but I do have a manager. This is what my manager went through all the questions and just decided, okay, these are the ones you're going to answer. And I said, okay, no idea what I'm getting into, but let's go for it. Yeah. All right. What motivates you to do the things that you do? As in, how do you motivate yourself to keep working harder and not give up? I'm going to go ahead and just apply this to a more broad sense than just ASMR, because if it was ASMR, then you would already know the answer to that question. I found a lot of the time that the typical reward system does not work for me. I can't do things in order to achieve something else. Like if I say, if you get X, Y, and Z done, then you can have some ice cream or something. That doesn't work for me. That works for a lot of people. That does not work for me. What works for me is finding meaning in pretty much everything that I do. Even annoying stuff like practicing an instrument or just doing paperwork. There's a point to it. There's always a point to it. It's kind of like in poems. If you look, there's 99% of the time going to be a deeper meaning. And so whenever I'm doing things that are hard, I find a reason to love them. Even if it's just paperwork, I'm going to be honest, I sucked at cursive. I could not write cursive, like, forever. All of my teachers tried, and they couldn't get me to do it. So every time I'm doing paperwork, I'm like, guys, this is cursive practice. I'm getting better. Am I getting better? Probably not. I suck at cursive. It completely eludes me. But there's a point, is what I'm trying to say. Everything you do has a point, even if it's not one that you might think of. So that's what I do. That probably doesn't work for everybody because, like I said, the reward system does not work for me. And that's a very common one that everybody uses. So when people are talking about motivation and they're like, do small goals and rewards, I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks. So if this advice does not help you in any way, shape, or form, then I told you so. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next question. Out of everything you do in your life, other than making audios, that is, what would you say gives you the most joy and happiness? That's a tough one. I'm going to take the cheesy answer. My friends, I'm sorry. I really like hanging out with people, and specifically doing things with people. So like my friends, my bandmates, the other members in my choir. Like I love getting together with people and doing something. Like that is my favorite thing. Recently one of my friends literally said, hey, let's just go to this trail and start walking. And we all asked, when would we stop? And he said, I don't know, when we feel like it. And so that day we all woke up at God knows when and started out on that trail, and boy, that was the worst mistake of our lives. But at the end of it, it was so worth it because we got to see so much cool stuff along the trail. And that whole idea of just getting together with people and doing stuff, I just like it. I really like it. Yeah. Next question. What instruments do you play? Oh boy, I'm so glad you asked. Let's see. So my main instrument is voice, but if you don't count that as an instrument, then my main instrument is tenor saxophone. Thing is, though, I can not only play the tenor saxophone, I can play almost the entire saxophone family, with the exception of soprano, because I can't find one. But if I found one, gosh golly, I would totally play that thing. I am teaching myself the flute. I only got it like 3 days ago, so more info on that coming soon. My main string instrument is definitely the ukulele, although I am learning the guitar. I'm not particularly good at percussion, but I can play a mean bongos, and I have a kalimba as well. Let's let's see what else. I have back to the stringed instruments for really quick. I have a strummed dulcimer. Absolutely amazing. Love that thing to bits. It's really odd because the frets are not chromatic. They are up like the dominant scale, I think. So you're very limited in the amount of songs that you can play. But it sounds amazing. I love that thing. I can play the penny whistle. I can play the ocarina. I can play the recorder, but everybody can play the recorder. I hope so. Anyways, if you can't play the recorder, this is no shade on you. But really, if you tried, you could. I'm just saying. And I actually really suck at piano. I really honestly suck at piano. Like a lot. But I can do piano if it's just one hand. That's the thing. I cannot do two-handed piano, which is why I'm very proud to say that I can play the melodica, but I cannot play the piano. For those wondering, the melodica is just a piano that you blow into to make sound. So one hand has to hold it because it's a handheld instrument, and the other hand plays it. And I can do that. I can do that all day long, but I cannot play the piano to save my life. And I can also play the jaw harp. That one's interesting. Don't see that one a lot. I have a small instruments collection, to be honest. Every single time I see an instrument and it's under like $20, I'll buy it straight up, no questions asked. So I kind of have been amassing instruments for a long time. Yeah. Next question. Do you plan to make more than sleep aids in the future? Okay. All right. I've been talking about this on and off, but I really do want to do niche comfort audios, which is basically stuff that does not pertain to the larger audience, right? So like a lot of people have been asking me for a migraine comfort. I really want to do a migraine comfort. That sounds incredibly fun and could be very helpful to you guys, and you know I'm all about that. But 90% of my subscribers don't have migraines. So if I upload that to the YouTube, no one's gonna care. And that video will just completely flop. And frankly, 90% of my subscribers probably won't get sleep that night, because a lot of you guys have commented that Tuesdays or that Sundays and Thursdays are my night. And if I post a video that you just can't watch, then that would be bad. And I would feel very bad about that. So I try to keep it very generally sleep aids. However, I have been considering more and more deeply starting a Patreon. I don't want it to be like super paywalled. Like if you have a migraine, I'm not going to make you pay $30 to listen to the migraine comfort video. But it would be a nice way for it to kind of go both ways. If you become a Patreon, you can request these more niche things that apply to just you and the smaller group, and I can do them, and they won't ruin everyone else's sleep schedule. So that is currently just a thought. I am not set on it. I really don't like charging people money. That's not who I want to be. That's not how I've lived my life, really. And so, yeah, it's kind of the same, like, I started a Ko-Fi, but it took a lot of convincing, and I'm working on a throne, but that took a lot of convincing because I don't like stealing you guys' money. Makes me feel weird. But if you want it, I won't say no. So comment down below your opinions on the Patreon for niche comfort audios. I'm not going to post. All of my sleep aids will still be on the main channel because sleep is good. I will not deprive anyone here of sleep. That's that. All right, next question. Okay, if you were a frog, what species would you be? I definitely would not be a tropical frog. I don't know. Actually, no. I might know. I would definitely be, I forget their name. I'm gonna look it up. Aha. Yeah. Northern leopard frog. Yes. Wait, no. Southern leopard frog. No. One of those two. I like the spots. I think they're very cute. They're the right size too. I don't want to be a gigantic frog. But I'm not I'm not a tiny frog either. I'm very, very wholesome, not overly cute. But I feel like I'm there to do a job, you know? If I'm gonna be a frog, I'm gonna be like the frog. I'm not gonna be a frog, I'm gonna be the frog. Like when you I know it's the leopard frog because I know that leopard frogs are very common kind of everywhere around here. There are places where you can like walk into a room and there's just leopard frogs just everywhere. Because it's the frog. It's the frog. I feel like I would be the frog. Yeah. If you disagree with that, please do. I'm not big into frog species. I look at them and I go, that's a frog. And then like the dopamine goes off in my brain. I'm being so for real. So, but I don't think I'd be like a bright green frog. I'm not like flashy like that. Yeah. Next question. Okay. In your audio, BF comes home early from a trip. You mention a choir workshop and that the speaker was really good since they had a lot of experience. Like myself, were you also a choir kid at school? That's a trick question. I am still a choir kid. I never left. I was a choir kid in school, that's true. I'm still in a choir. It's a community choir. Among other choirs, people just ask me to sing. I'm just everywhere, really. Yeah, I love singing. I think I'm in, hang on, 1, 2, 3. I'm in 3 choirs and a theater group that does musical theater. So I'm like singing actually all the time. Yeah, but I was a choir kid in school, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I was more, if we're talking like personality wise, I was definitely a band kid. I was a band kid in the choir room. But I was in the choir room. Sure was. Um, okay. Next question. Do you listen to music often? If so, what is your go-to genre and artist? Also, favorite song at the moment. I do listen to music often, like all the time. I cannot walk down the street or drive a car without listening to music. It just is. My go-to genre is definitely R&B, sometimes rap, sometimes R&B and rap fusion. Lately, it's been slipping more into like jazz lo-fi. Not jazz lo-fi, but jazz, lo-fi. It could go either way at this point. My music taste goes through phases. But there are a lot of genres that are like near and dear to my heart. R&B is one of them, and future bass is one of them, and liquid is one of them. Those three genres I can listen to all day. Oh, J-pop as well. But not the J-pop you're thinking of. If it has words in it, I probably haven't listened to it. I listen to a lot of like Snail's House and Mo Shop, stuff like that. But my go-to artist is Kai Dreams. Just gonna say it, Kai Dreams all the way. I have been with Kai Dreams for so long. I don't think I will ever get out because we think almost identically. The lyrics that they write are like straight out of my own thoughts. It's really scary. So if you want to know more about me, go listen to the entire Kai Dreams Nice Colors album and then come back. And then my favorite song at the moment, I don't know if I said that, but it's in parentheses at the end. It says also do favorite song at the moment. I'll be honest, it changes very quickly. There are so many songs at this point that are like speak to me on extremely deep levels. I'm a very like artistic, romantic kind of guy. I find meaning everywhere, and I get attached to songs very easily. Like, but the one that I have been listening to literally on repeat is Numb Little Bug. Not for any particular reason. I literally heard it playing on the speakers in some store and I Shazammed it, and it's been stuck in my head ever since. One day it will not be stuck in my head, but until that day comes, I will be listening to Numb Little Bug by somebody. I'm really bad at names. Fun fact about me that's not anywhere in this Q&A, I don't think. It probably isn't going to come up. I suck at names, straight up. I forget people's names all the time. My head's too full of frogs and like flowers and stuff and how pretty the sky is today. If you tell me your name is Jeff, I don't care. I do care. I care a lot about people, but it's very rare that I'm like mentally present. A bit of a daydreamer, if you will. Okay. Next question. What's a weird food combo people find weird but you think it slaps? Have you ever crushed chips and put it inside of a hot dog? Next question. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? Yeah, what did you want to grow up to be? Sorry. Is that different from your career pursuit now? Well, when I was a kid, I didn't know what ASMR was, so yeah, it is. I'm kidding. ASMR is not my job. Well, as you might have guessed, I'm a full-time artist. But when I was a kid, I wanted to build bridges. I thought they were fascinating. I wanted to be a civil engineer. And that changed really fast when COVID hit. I'll say, depression was very humbling for me. I learned a lot about art and how powerful it was. So yeah, I basically did a full 180. I was a civil engineer for like the longest time. I was gonna go to college and be a civil engineer. I'm really glad that I'm not doing civil engineering right now. Because if I was, that would suck. And if I was at a college where there was only civil engineering and not art, I would be having a very bad time right now. But I'm not. None of those things are true. So, yeah, that. Next question. How many family members or friends know about your channel, if any at all? I have only recently told my family, and only my immediate family. It took a lot of convincing because, pro tip, when you tell your parents that you roleplay as a boyfriend online, that does not go over well. So I had to give them the whole spiel about what it means to me, and I basically gave them the letter at the beginning of this video. I did it for them as well, and they're okay with it now. But they agree that I should not really go around telling people about that. The only friend that knows is my manager. Yeah. If you're wondering, I do have a manager. They are not professionally trained, but I have this one friend who we are like, we always put /J whenever we call each other soulmates. But I don't think we're joking sometimes, because we are like perfect foils of each other. Like everything that I struggle with, they excel at, and everything they struggle with, I excel at, and our powers combined, we are unstoppable. So like I am this very, loose, idea-driven, creative mind. And when I said I wanted to start this YouTube channel, they sat me down and said, "You're gonna die unless." And so they told me how to start a YouTube channel. They told me how to record, when to record, how many videos a week are a good idea. They told me when to release the Discord, when to do announcements. They spell check everything that ever goes out publicly. They are my manager. They really are. They're the only friend that knows. And they're probably the most qualified friend to know. They're also very good at analytics. They can look at like the views of all my past videos and just tell me what video to record next, and I go, okay. And generally it works, which is the scary part. Yeah, now you know. Manager. Yep. Next question. Do you play video games? If so, what are your favorites? Yes. My favorites are Minecraft, Apex Legends, Bloons Tower Defense 6, and Phasmophobia. I don't really get a lot of time to game, to be honest. So I kind of steer more towards games where I can just boot up and get immediately into the action. So I do not play a lot of story-driven games, and like the only big story-driven game I've played is like Stardew Valley. But I made it to winter and then got bored because like I'd only have like 30 minutes to play, and so I'd log on, and by the time I was like I had loaded in and was finished watering all of my crops for the day, that was it. I had to go, and so I stopped playing Stardew Valley because it made me sad. I'm sure if I had more time to sink into the game, then I totally would. But like, I don't play Sims. I don't play any of those like MMOs. No Genshin, no Eve, no. I would name another one, but I like just don't know any. Yeah. But yes. And Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Those are my 2 console games. I slay at both of them. Undefeated at Mario Kart, kind of bad at Smash Bros, but like just better enough at the game to beat all my friends. So, keeping it real. Next question. Do you see yourself doing some live streams in the future? Yes. 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 I love live streams. I really want to do them so bad. One small issue. There are only 24 hours in a day. I'm a very busy guy because, like I said, ASMR is not my job. This is not my career. I cannot quit everything else in my life and just start doing ASMR. 1, because I would be broke, and 2, because I would go insane because I love art. So I have to like keep doing art. That's a big thing for me. But I do really want to do live streams in the future. I'm very busy at the moment. Hopefully things will clear up soon, like November-ish. I'll get back to you then. But that'd be so fun. That'd be so fun to like talk to you guys and just be able to do like real-time stuff. Requests. I love doing requests. I have a history of voice acting. So like one of my favorite things to do is just people will say, hey, can you say this? And I'll say it, and it's great. And I love it. I love it. So I'm really excited to do live streams. The only reason I haven't started yet is because if I did, I would die. It's like we are getting to the point of busyness where it's like it's either this or sleep, and I'm gonna choose sleep because that one's important. Yeah. Next question. When you first started your channel, what did you envision your end goal to be? And do you think it has changed now that your channel is progressing? Well, when I started this channel, I wanted to help people sleep. And as of 10K, I want to help people sleep. Yep. I'm being so for real. I'm being so for real. If I'm anything, I'm a man of my word. So everything I said in that letter at the beginning is entirely the truth. When I say I want to help people, I want to help people. Seriously. I know that people get, like, the numbers kind of get to your head. I'm gonna do everything in my power to not let that happen, because helping people is the goal, and it always will be, and it has to stay that way. Otherwise, I have failed some former version of myself. Next question. Thoughts on mint chocolate chip ice cream? There are a lot of people that think it is like the greatest ice cream flavor ever invented. I disagree. I really like it. But if I have the choice between like mint chocolate chip ice cream and cookie cream, I'm sorry. Or like cookie dough. Sorry. I love cookies. I don't know why. Like favorite dessert, top tier dessert, cookies. That's the stuff. Which leads strangely well into the next question. If you had to pick, what would your last meal be? Hmm. What would my last meal be? I'm not sure. No, that's totally a lie. So my mom has this family recipe of chili and cornbread that she got from like her grandma or something. It's literally the best thing I've ever had. She has not taught me how to make it. Apparently, I'm not old and wise enough to carry the family heirloom. But so good. Absolute top tier comfort food. I know that like sounds really weird. I know that a lot of people don't like chili. I can speak from experience because I have pulled out like chili in a thermos for whenever I have to pack my lunch or like picnics or whatever, and people go, "Ew, is that chili?" And I go, yeah, it is." So just saying. Loved it. I'm sorry. It's so good. And then dessert would obviously be cookies because I'm not gonna let myself not eat cookies. I love cookies. What's your love language? Next question. It is my receiving. There's two. There's giving and receiving. If you didn't know that, now you do. My receiving love language, which is like the stuff that I like to be done to / for me, is touch. And gifts. Yeah, touch and gifts. My giving love language, which is the stuff that like, which is how I express my love to other people, is gifts and I forget the technical term, but it's like compliments, just talking. As I said, I'm an artist. I am also a writer. I am also a poet. If I think you're cool, in any capacity, really, I'll probably write you a letter sometime in my time of knowing you. That's how I work. Or a poem, sometimes. Those are rare. If you get a poem from me, you know that's a rare one. If you ask for a poem from me, that doesn't count because I just like writing poems. So if you ask for one, I'll give you one. But if I just like give you one of my own free will, you peaked. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. What was your favorite video to make? That's a great question. I don't know. I'm not sure. For one, it's been a really long time, and honestly, some of the videos really blur together. But it's definitely Uh, it's definitely one of the lighthearted ones. Like a cuddle or kissing one. I know that. Oops. Comfort and reverse comfort. That's very important. I try to like do that as much as I can. But it's not particularly fun for me. Not as fun. I love recording in any capacity, but it's not as fun because I don't like pretending to be sad because sometimes I get real sad. And I don't like pretending that someone else is sad because sometimes I will get real sad. Very empathetic person. So, and a very good actor. Mind you. So if I have to like pretend to be sad or pretend that someone else is sad, I take it like almost too seriously, and I will like walk out of those recording sessions like actually really kind of down. Not fun. But probably It was the movie one. I really liked doing the movie one. Watching a movie with your boyfriend. That one was good. Yeah, there. Final answer. Okay. Next question. Favorite scent. It can be perfume, but it doesn't have to be. I really like vanilla. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't have a particular reason. I'm sure that I'm not like well versed enough in smells to like tell you definitively. But like when you ask me like what's the smell that you like, I'm probably gonna say vanilla. Really don't know why. I just like it. Next question. I don't know if you said this before, but how did you come up with your channel name? So, it's mid-July, and I'm on a Discord call with my manager, and I say I want to start this channel, and we talk about it for a really long time, but eventually we realize we're gonna have to pick a name. So we both just started like listing names. Eventually a running theme came up of like healing stones, because they were like, there's a lot of like stuff that you have to kind of think of when it comes to branding, and I won't like get into super detail about it, but doing like mineral names generally like checked all the boxes for branding, and it actually came down to Angelite and Olivine. But we did a quick search, and Angelite ASMR already exists. So we did Olivine, and I actually couldn't be happier. I really like it. I think it fits me a lot, and I definitely picked right, I think. Yeah. Plus, if you look it up, it has, it's like healing crystal properties are reducing anxiety, which is like, that's me for real. Next question. Do you have any pets? And if so, what are they? And if you are comfortable, what are their names? Okay, I have one rabbit. His name is Sammy. He is 11. Very old rabbit. He used to have a wife. Her name was Molly. She was very sweet, but she passed away a couple years ago. It was really funny because she was like actually twice his size, which is very common. Rabbits are one of those species where the female is larger than the male. Which is not always true, but in rabbits it is. And praying mantises, I know, is another good example. But yeah, the rabbit expected lifespan, just for reference, is like 8 to 9 years. He's 11. We're pretty sure he's immortal at this point. Yeah. And then we also have a cat. Her name is Ashes. She and the rabbit do not get along, if you were wondering. I'm very sorry. She is fairly young. Not like kitten, but she's not, aged yet. She's like middle-aged. I think she's like 5 or 6. And so she still wants to play very frequently, and the rabbit does not. So, yeah, they don't get along, which sucks. But they will sit next to each other. The rabbit will be in his cage, and the cat will sit next to him. And they'll touch noses, they'll hang out. But we can't let the rabbit out while the cat is out. Which is fine, because he's very old and he doesn't like to move around a lot. But back in the day, he was quite the active one. We would let him out into the living room, and he would run around and jump onto the couch and sit in your lap and ask for pets, and it's very, very cute, very cute. I like rabbits a lot. They're very, very nice. Would you rather... next question. Would you rather be able to speak all the languages in the world or be able to communicate with animals? Speak all the languages in the world. Not even close. Communicating with animals would be really cool. But if I was able to speak every single language in the world, I would have like unmatched power of communication, and I will live and die by the belief that monkeys together strong. So yeah. I love, like I said earlier, I love getting with other people and doing things. And if I could go anywhere in the world and perfectly fluently like talk to the locals and say, hey, I'm an artist, do you want to make something? And like experience all those cultures and like fuse them together in these crazy ways. Like there's so much potential there. So me personally, not even close. Speak all languages. Next question. What's the hardest thing of recording an ASMR video? Being incredibly bored. I'm being so for real. Sometimes in the very, very long kissing sections, or in the 15 minutes at the end where I just kind of breathe, I get bored. I really do. I'm a very up and at 'em guy. I have a hard time sitting still. And I love talking, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be an ASMRist. So when I just kind of have to like sit there silently or just make kissing noises and that's kind of it, I get really bored. But yeah, the dealing with excess noise in the background is actually not particularly difficult. It's annoying, don't get me wrong, but it's not like the end of the world. I just hit my glasses really hard. Ouch. Whoops. Next question. Tea or coffee? Tea. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. I don't know why. Don't like it. Or maybe, well, I can't say that I don't like it because I've actually never tried it. Occasionally I'll give it a sip, and just go, yeah, I still don't like coffee. But a lot of people's like coffee story is, you have to keep drinking coffee for a while before you start to like it, or like put a ton of milk in it and then like lessen off the milk over time. But I really just, I like tea. I don't really see a need to change. And coffee is a lot more addictive than tea. So, just saying. Yeah, don't particularly want to subject myself to that. Next question. What is your favorite type of plant or flower? Whoops. And why? I love trees. I really like trees. Specifically willows. But the one plant that I have a very deep emotional connection to is hydrangeas. When I was a kid, we lived in a house that had a small, very small flower bed in the front. And we planted 2 hydrangea bushes. And it was my job to take care of them. I was literally just put in charge of the hydrangeas. And the first couple years were pretty rough. I'm gonna be honest. But eventually, over time, I kind of learned how they talk. Plants will say things, and you have to listen to them. And so, me and the hydrangeas would talk. They were the first plants that I learned to talk to. I could tell how they were doing based on their leaves, based on their flowers. I could tell what they needed, when they needed it, and like when it needed trimming, just based off of looking at it. I never actually like had a conversation with the hydrangeas. Don't worry, that did not happen. But the hydrangea bushes were the first plants where I was kind of like, you know, this is another living creature with its own, like, functions and needs, and I like to think thoughts. I like to think that plants have thoughts, very rudimentary ones, but, and I know that's, like, entirely not the case, because they're just a bunch of cells, they don't have a brain or anything, but it's life. It's another life. And the hydrangeas were kind of like the first plants that I came to respect that for. And I know a lot about hydrangeas. I kept those puppies alive for 7 years until we had to move. As far as I know, they are still alive. I can't really check, but I know that the Google Maps truck went back through my neighborhood after I moved out of it, and I went and I was just like, I wonder, and I zoomed in really close, and lo and behold, they're still there. Holy cow. So proud of myself. That's a big parent moment for me. Those are my babies. I remember them when they were this big. But seriously, like, yeah, we bought them when they were like 2 feet tall, and now they're probably like 6 feet tall. I'm so proud of those things. Yeah, and they have pretty flowers. Next question: how would you prefer to spend your day off? Going out with friends. Really, I'm a simple man. I like people. I like talking to people. I like interacting with people. So if I want to have fun, I have fun with people. Simple as that. Next question. Who told you you would be good in ASMR? Every single teacher from 4th grade on. every single time in lit class that we had to do a presentation, I would get up in front of the class and I would deliver like the most stunning speech that anyone had ever seen. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm quoting that from every single lit teacher from 4th grade on. I'm a very good public speaker, and people have told me that my voice is very, very nice and easy to listen to. And that's how I got into voice acting. But, you know, as my kind of ideas about what I wanted to do changed and I started to consider ASMR, like I knew I had that background to give it a try. Plus, I'm good at talking, as proof by the 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 52-second time mark. Yeah. Next question. Favorite book or movie? Favorite movie is definitely Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm not going to elaborate on that because it is like... I could talk about that forever. Really love that movie. My favorite book? I don't think I have one. I read. I do. But... I don't really have a favorite. I don't think I've had a book speak to me like I've had movies speak to me. I'm a very visual guy, so yeah. Next question. Do you like traffic cones? What? What? Do you like traffic? How did this get in here? Yes, I like traffic cones. If you put them up to your mouth, and bark into them, it sounds like a real dog, which is really scary. You can use that to troll your friends. I know I have. And if you angle it down, the sound comes out of the bottom of the cone, and it really sounds like the barking is coming like from their legs, which is terrifying, and they all look down and like jump up, and it's like... Sorry. They're also bright and shiny, and I like bright, shiny objects. Yeah, next question. Will there be a name for us, the listeners, as a fan name? If so, what will it be? So, in the Discord server, I very arbitrarily just decided that the name for a member would be saplings. So if you're a member of the Discord server, then you are a sapling. I had no intention for that to be the fan name, but I have consistently seen people in and out of the Discord server call themselves saplings when referring to the fan base. So I guess it's that. I don't really have control over like what you guys call yourselves. I'll just call you guys whatever you call yourselves. So if you have a name in mind, start calling yourself that all the time, and maybe it'll catch on. But if it doesn't, that's not on me. I cannot control the actions of large groups of people. Next question. What part of audio creation was strange or unexpected for you? Jeez. Definitely the mental energy that went into it. Every single time I come out of a recording session, and this does not just apply to the Comfort Audios. I know I gave a little spiel about how Comfort Audios really drain me emotionally, but actually really any audio kind of drains me physically. Sitting and talking for that long, I'll walk out of my recording space and just like flop onto the nearest soft surface and just kind of die for 10 minutes and then get up and go on with my day. I don't know why. Because all I'm doing is sitting and talking, and I love sitting and talking, but I think it's the sitting and talking to nobody that's very difficult for me. So I really don't like being alone. So when it's just me and the microphone, I kind of get me a little sad. Yeah. Next question. Do you have any secret talents or hobbies that you've never told your followers? If so, how did you discover or get into it? So, if you are a subscriber to the channel but not in the Discord, then you probably do not know the very long list of my abilities. Because it comes up a lot. I am a composer, I'm a singer, I'm very skilled in a lot of instruments. I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm an artist in training. I'm an actor, I can dance. Pretty much if there's an art form, I can do it, like straight up. But one thing that people probably don't know, is I am not unskilled. I'm not very good at it. I can't be like super good at everything I do. So there's a lot of like, all the stuff I listed is stuff that I'm like really good at. But there's a lot of like smaller art stuff that I'm just kind of okay at, like calligraphy. I can't really do. But one big one is cosplay. And really fashion in general. Picking out clothes with the idea of getting an idea across is very enticing to me. And I am one of those very rare men that enjoy going to the mall, like a lot. So I have an entire like cosplay building station. I have a ton of EVA foam that I use all the time. Little heat gun, soldering iron, X-Acto knife, and a lot of super glue. And I've made some pretty cool stuff. I'm very proud of a lot of the stuff that I've made. I made a TV head cosplay for Halloween a couple years back. And yeah, now you know. How did I discover or get into it? I have no idea. Actually, I do. It started off with that TV head. No, a different TV head. There was a prototype TV head before the original TV head. I had gotten very sick and I was very stuck at home, and I was like scrolling YouTube mindlessly, and I saw this video of this guy with a TV on his head that would go around to random porches and just deliver TVs for free. And it was this news story, and it was like a clip of this news story of the guy running up to the front door of this house and just dropping a TV off, waving at the camera and leaving. And I was like, whoa, what if I did that? So I found a TV that nobody wanted, cracked it open, took out all the stuff inside, bought a bunch of electronics, did a lot of gluing, a lot of work with EVA foam, and what I had at the very end was an audio responsive TV head with a face that would light up whenever I talk. And that was kind of when I discovered that it was fun. I liked building and creating that kind of stuff, and it's kind of a mix of like making the pieces that you don't have and also working with the pieces that you do. Which is why I kind of roped fashion into that. Because I'm not going to sew all my own clothes, but that TV head wouldn't be complete if I wasn't wearing a suit. It couldn't just be any suit. But also, this was a hobby, so I did not have the money to spend on it, so I went to a thrift store and we looked through suit jackets until we had like put together this masterful suit with old clothes that we could either like repair or were in decent condition. And that was a really good cosplay. Really good cosplay. My newer one is better. But I was very proud of the first one. Yeah, I talked about that for way too long. Oops. Next question. Do you like the process of writing the script or acting the audio out? I'm assuming this is an either-or question, but it's not really, because I don't write scripts. I don't know how this got in here. For those of you who don't know, I don't write my scripts. I don't write scripts at all. I improv everything. Generally, I come up with an idea, or I steal an idea from someone who recommended the idea in either the comments or the Discord. I plan out the first couple lines, maybe, just in my head, and then I just go for it. There are a couple times that I have to, like I trip over my words and I have to, like, start the sentence over, but it's fairly rare. Most of the audios that you listen to are a single take. Minus cutting out, like, cars driving by, because that happens a lot. Or, like, me accidentally bumping the microphone. So if I accidentally bump the microphone or a car drives by, I'll just go quiet for a second, and then I'll pick it back up, and I'll kind of mark it down, come back to it later, cut it out, and splice it together, but it's all one take. So I guess, do I like the process of script writing or acting the audio out? I like acting the audio out because I don't write scripts. Next question. Is there something you wish more people knew about you? If so, what is it? I kind of wish that more people knew about the fact that I really am, like, doing this, because it means a lot to me. There's this big stigma around ASMR that it's like this quick, like, money maker business that anybody with a nice voice can just buy a microphone and talk into it about whatever and just make, like, a ton of money. I know that all of my friends to this day still make jokes about it. Like, whenever one of us is, like, struggling with money, someone else will say, just start an ASMR channel. And everybody laughs, and I go, yeah, yeah. Because the super secret truth is that I don't care about the money. That's why I'm, like, so kind of weirded out about taking you guys' money, even, like, through advertisements. I know it's helpful, and I know that, like, I'm investing it all back into the channel with, like, getting this 3DO and getting a new preamp and, like, stuff that I need to make better content. But I really am just doing this because I love it. And I think people should know that. People should know that I'm here because I want to be here. I'm not financially tied to this YouTube at all. Like I said, it is not my job. This YouTube is not my livelihood in any way, shape, or form. I could make no money from YouTube and I'd still do it. That's why I pour my heart and soul into every single video, and you guys comment that it shows. So that's why. Next question. What's the hardest video you've ever recorded? Definitely the stargazing one. Because I had to go and, like, get not only all of the outdoor noise, but I had to like go and record me opening and closing the door and like some footstep sounds, and a little blanket shuffling all separately, but it was on my phone because I didn't want to like get my microphone wet, so I had to edit it so it sounded decent because my phone microphone is garbage, and it was this whole mess. That video took like an entire week just to edit, even though it only took an hour to record. It took a week just to edit, and it turned out okay. Not really my proudest video. There's a lot of stuff in there that I really don't like. But it was definitely one of my most wholesome ones. The idea was there. The execution was a total mess. I might redo it one day. Might be a good idea. Yeah. Next question. What is your favorite color? White. That's a weird one, because a lot of people don't think white is a color, and by white I mean like true white, like the hex value of FFFFFF, or like snow or clouds or Discord light mode, or piano keys, the big ones, not small ones. I just like it because white is every single color combined. Black is every single pigment combined. So if you get that confused, just know color as in light and color as in pigment mix differently. When you mix all of the colors of light together, you get white. It's kind of like unity in a way. It's all the colors working together to make this one like really pure color. I really like it. Again, like I said, very romantic guy. Find meaning in everything, even the color that I like. I will say that from a fashion standpoint, since we've already touched on that, red is definitely my color. I go with red everything. Green is a very close second. But my favorite color to look at, and the color that I kind of wish I went with, is definitely white. Next question. Do you like olives or? I don't. I don't like olives. I'm so sorry. I really hate to break this news to you guys. I really don't like olives. I'm a big fruits guy. I love fruits. But olives, I cannot do. For some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't do it. Green olives, black olives, I just can't. I just can't. I don't like them. I'm so sorry. I love pears. I love strawberries. I love a good apple. Kiwis are nice. Just can't do olives. Next question. Are you an introverted or an extroverted person? If you haven't guessed by now by me saying that I love spending time with people, then yeah, I'm an extroverted person. I really like people a lot. Next question. Have you had water today? Check this out. Water bottle. I have it with me all the time. If you thought I didn't have water today, you're crazy, man. Water. Love me some water. Yeah. I could drink more water. My doctors have told me I should drink more water. But I do have water every day. Can't live without it. Ha ha ha. Next question. Will you ever do a Patreon? Maybe. Throwback to the, like, am I gonna do anything other than sleep aids in the future comment down below if you love or hate it. I don't know. Like I said also before, I don't want to steal you guys' money. This is about so much more than just the money, but I really like... I can't put it on the YouTube. It has to go somewhere else. But where? And plus, whether I like it or not, the Patreon money is going to help me buy this stinking microphone, so... Regardless of my feelings for it, money is required to live and continue to make content, and as much as I dislike that, it's the truth. So, Patreon, thoughts, feelings, opinions, let them loose in the comments. Oh yeah. Next question. Are you willing to play games with your community? If yes, any kind of games allowed? Oh, are any kind of games allowed? Yeah, sorry. I do want to play games with my community. That would be incredibly fun. I know Among Us would be fun. I think that it would also be fun to like do some smaller stuff as well. Like only 2 or 3 people. You could load into an Apex game with me, or we could play like 3 rounds of Faz or something. That'd be very fun. And I'm open to different games. If I start live streaming, I'll probably pick up a game that you guys recommend. If I decide to do that. I don't know if I'll do gaming streams or just talking streams. Definitely one of the two. But yeah. Any kind of games. I don't know what games I like until I try them, so recommend away. Next question. If you were to share a piece of advice for the ones struggling with self-love out there, what would you tell them? Well, that went from 0 to 60 really fast. Okay, so as you probably have guessed, I've had a long history with self-love. Learning to love myself is actually something I'm still doing to this day. If I ever figure it out, I will gladly tell you guys. But I think that one thing that has worked for me very well is realizing that you deserve to be happy. I don't know, that's probably not your first time hearing it if you are on this journey. But it's the truth. The moment when I started improving with my self-image was when I started writing music. Because it was something I loved, and I told myself that I deserve to write this music. So it's not like, I guess if I could phrase it differently, it's not like you deserve to be happy as in this like mystical like state of bliss that you like are deserving to achieve. You deserve to try to be happy. You deserve a chance. Because there is no magic potion that's just gonna make you love yourself or make you happy. It comes from work. it's the kind of work that makes you happy to begin with. Because there's work that other people tell you to do, like your job or your schooling, but then there's work that you love. Like for me, it's making music. So a lot of times when you're in that space of lacking in self-love, what ends up happening is you focus too much on the work that you have to do and not the work that you love. Because the work that you have to do sucks so much out of you that you don't feel like you have enough energy left to do the work that you love. But you have to try. You deserve to try. You are good enough to try. If you have endured this much, then you can endure one more hour of work. Because you may not realize it at the time, but it is work you love. You need to find the work that you love. And it's going to be hard, and you're not going to want to do it. But when you get out of the other end of that hour, you are going to be so tired, and you are going to be so happy. I have stayed up till 3 in the morning writing songs, especially at the worst parts in my life. And I will wake up the next day and I will regret it the entire day. But I will come home and I will listen to what I made the last night, and it will be worth it. And to know that, like, I made that. That's how you love yourself. Because you love the work, and you did the work. The output that was created out of that is yours, and no one can take that away from you. So find what you love. And do it. And by doing the thing that you love, you will love yourself. Which segues really interestingly well into the last question, which is, what are you most thankful for in life? Which I actually don't need to think about a lot, because I'm thankful for the way that I see things. I'm thankful for being me. I'm thankful for not understanding things. I'm thankful for being human. The fact that I have lived the life that I have lived and become the person that I am today is probably the greatest gift of all time, because I see things and interpret things in such a unique way to other people. And I think that is probably universally true, but the interesting thing is that I've realized that what I have to say is worth saying, because it's something that no one has ever heard before, because it's the way that I said it. Which is why I create. And even though I write songs about love and joy and partying and whatever, and all that stuff that's been done before, it's good because it's how I see it. And no one else can see the world the way that I see it. And no one else can take that away from me. I'm thankful that I've lived a life to where I can answer every single question on this Q&A with my entire heart. And as you might have noticed, a lot of running themes. I'm thankful that I've realized what art is to me and why I'm here, which is to help people. If you haven't found that yourself, you will. I know you will. But the fact that I have is the greatest gift I've ever received. So thank you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for giving me a place where I can do the one thing that I wanted to do, which is help people. Thank you for letting me help you. Thank you for clicking on my videos. Thank you for falling asleep to me, and thank you for commenting and telling me that you fell asleep, because it makes me know that what I'm doing is working. That the one goal I set out to do is being met. It makes it all worth it. And if me 3 years ago could see me now, I think they think it was worth it too. So, if you use this audio to fall asleep, good night. If you stayed up and listened to the whole thing because you were enthralled by my very speaking, then I hope you can click off this video and have an amazing day, night, whatever. But ultimately,